marking your quizzes actually, so maybe you can have those back later as well. All right. My name is Key, and I was written in March of 2023. Anyways, uh, these ones are classic. You shouldn't struggle with these anymore, to be honest, right? So there's your pair. You're asked to solve for side P, right? That will require you to figure this one out. It doesn't hurt to show the work, right? Like this if you want. It's up to you, but there's your 52-degree angle, which allows you to solve for P. If you use R, you're solving side R, right? So that would be a -1. So I will go faster than I normally go. So it might look a little messy, right? Some of you are skipping this step right here, where you actually show me. I'm already giving you a shortcut, guys, just so you know, right? You may have seen other teachers do it a little differently. This is already a shortcut, right? So don't shortcut the shortcut, right? It's too much already. So this is 5703 centimeters. If you have that, 2 out of 2. Next, solve for angle Y. This is an SSS scenario. Same thing. Notation is when I mark your quizzes, which is not a big deal. It's so easy to fix, right? I'm not worried about that. But cosine of y, you need to start off like that. You can't just say y, okay? At first, it's cosine of y, right? And then we write that number at the end like that and square it. Some of you are missing that, right? And then the other two, doesn't matter what it is, just square them and add, right? And then those two show up again. If you run out of space, right, but I want you to do the top and bottom separately, you get this. I'm going to give you this back tomorrow, so make sure you make corrections, right? At this point, you may do this if you want, angle Y, but then you have to have this one show up. So that'd be negative 0.63, and that keeps going. Okay, so there's at least write down the answer, right, in pen. That way you know, okay, I'm going to try this again when it's nice and quiet and Mr. Dirksen doesn't give me those bad jokes, right? And then you can focus, right? This time L is being asked of, so it's SAS, right? You've got two sides and the angle between. This one looks like this, L squared, right? And then it's 9.1 squared plus 16.2 squared minus, and you know the drill. Cosine of 70, right? At this point, if you want a root, you can just go L, right? And that is 244.4087, and it keeps going. So L is 15.63 centimeters. Okay. So that should have been a home run. Great, that's 6 marks there. Contractor needs to repair the gargoyle on the building. So this is multiple triangle scenario. So let's see here how we would break this down. I want you to focus in on this point right there. If this is 60, this is 120, right? So that would definitely be part of a full mark, right? That's a concept. And then on top of that, now you know two angles. You can find this third one. So can I just say something? Quiz, this is because I marked the quiz. So this is 180 minus 60 to get you that, right? That's because they're supplementary. And then there's the sum of triangle property, where you take 180 again and you subtract the two angles that are known to you inside this triangle, right? And so that would be 20. Yeah. So I'll give you 1 mark for this 120 showing up here. So I will change the total, just so you know. And then I'll give you 1 mark for coming up with the 20. And at that point, you have a pair, right? This angle right here pairs up with that side down here. So we go sine of 20 degrees over side of 20. So it's kind of tricky, right? It's coincidence. And what are they asking me for? At this point, you decide, do you want to solve for this or do you want to solve for this? But you got to solve for one of them. I tend to, my rules or my steps told you, find the one that they share, right? So I'm going to solve for that one, which means that I have to use this angle right here. But be my guest, do it the other way. I'm fine as long as you stick with a plan, right? So sine of 40 over, I'm going to call this side x because there is no variable, right? And you get 20 times sine of 40 over sine of 20. And that is 3759 meters, right? So I would definitely give you at this point, I would give you 2 marks for that one. So generous, right? Yeah, but so let's say you got this one wrong, right? -1. But then we would honor it if whatever you got here, let's say you got 50 or something like that. I would honor it coming all the way through here, so I would go step check, right? So you would get the 2 marks, whatever angle you used here to pair them up. I'm not done yet, am I? Now I need this, which is the height, right? So you got to imagine there's a 90 degree here. So sine of 90, sine of this 90 is across the side you just found. This looks like a Y, right? Let's make sure. So I'm going to go that paired up with this. Got it? And then I'm going to go sine of 60 is across H, right? It's multiple triangle, okay? And I know that in a class this size, there's always somebody that finds a different way of doing these things. That's okay. I welcome that, right? As long as it's mathematically sound, we are good to go, right? So another 2 marks for figuring out the height. So your height will probably be different if you got that angle wrong. It's like a chain reaction, right? So what is this out of now? 2, 4, and 6, right? So scratch this. It's better than having half marks all over the place. That's why I do that. So make this worth 6 marks for this question. So 6 and 6, 12 for this page, right? That's why it took you a little longer. There wasn't a whole lot of space for this one. I recognize that. Throw in variables, guys. Do it. Just name it, right? Put it in there. That's fine. So 12 marks for this page. I will, if I don't give this back to you tomorrow, remind me, okay? Remind me to give this back because this one is a very good one to kind of review everything. Right, backside now. Okay, so here we have, you should have recognized this one. I just tweaked it a little bit. So there's an SOS call. Board receives a call and determines that the boat is 3.2 kilometers away from him at a direction 42 degrees south of west. Because you have a diagram, this doesn't really mean a whole lot, but if this is west, you're going 42 degrees south of west, right? That's what that is saying. And it is depicted here. So the 42 is where it belongs. Megan is at a station 5.8 kilometers south of Gort. So this is south as well, right? Going straight south. And so a west and a, oh, I won't use this space, sorry. Too excited. So a west and a south line, they make a 90, right? If this is south and this is west, there's a 90 at this corner right here. So that means that if this is 42, then this is 48. Yeah, that's a mark, guys. You brought an angle inside the triangle. It's a huge concept, actually. If you can't do that, then game over. You can't even solve this thing. Okay? And now what is this? Side, angle, side. So that's cosine law. So they're asking how far is meg from the border. So meg, border, right? This is your unknown right there. So x squared would be, and you know the drill at this point, or you should at least. Do not use SOHCAHTOA, okay? You just don't do it. Most of the time, if not every single time, you will not be able to use regular SOHCAHTOA. The primary trig ratios, sine, cosine, tan, remember those? You have to use the laws, okay? And the laws work for any scenario, so that's the beauty of them, okay? And so this is 4.36 kilometers. So 1 mark for that angle, 2 marks for this. I normally give you just 2 marks for a regular sine, a regular cosine law. And so 3 marks altogether for A, right? And then I asked you, what's the angle at meg's location? So they want this angle right here. You can call it M. We have side, side, side. So you could use cosine law. You could use sine law. It's up to you. I will just say this. Well, I'll do it because I need you to know how to do this. If you use sine law, I will use sine of 48 over the side you just found, which is 4.36. Okay, that's your pair. And then I'm going to go sine of M, right, this angle, over the side across from it. This is a bit more work, okay? You can't drop the sine in front of the M. So you cross multiply here, then you divide by 4.36, and you get 0.5454, and that keeps going. Angle M, so this is the grand finale, right? Angle M is sine inverse, because you're using the sine law, of 0.5454, so on. So angle M is 33.05 degrees. If you use cosine law, you get, for angle M, you get 33.01 degrees. So both are acceptable. Okay, both are acceptable. So slightly different if you use cosine law. And that's because you're using the given sides, right? 0.02. Anybody else get 0.02 using cosine law? I will check. Let me check. For now, just say rounding error, and then I will check it later and add it if it's. Okay, last one. I should have made the height a bonus. I should have done that. Okay. So here we go. Oh, so you still get 3 for A, right? Because you had to get 1 mark and 2, and this one would be just 2 marks, provided you got it right. I would say if you just have this, some of you just do this here. Just go equal that, equal, right? I would like you to kind of stick, that's your unknown, keep them together. So it's almost like unknown is equal to this. And then when you want the angle itself, you use the inverse there. I would like to see that. Okay. So on the quiz, I marked it like almost everywhere, notation, n, but I wouldn't have taken off every single half mark. I'm just letting you know that it's happening. Okay. Question 5. What I like about the H is that I wanted you to be confronted with that, because it could easily be the case. But you need to first focus on the big one, right? Focus on that, and then specifically try to find a pair. Okay, I will just say that side is so obvious. It's cosine law. Side angle side is also quite obvious, right? So chances are it's like, okay, I probably need a pair here. So to figure this angle, You know this one, you know this one. If you look at the big triangle, so that's 180 minus 32 minus 78. And this is 70 degrees, okay? You can call it angle E, right? If you want to, that's 70 right there. And now you have a pair. So it's asking for the distance from Mariah to the bird and Kumar bird, right? So you can go X and Y if you'd like. So that's telling me you know which side is which, right? You're being very specific. So sine of 70 over 250. Then it would be sine of 78 over X. And right next door, I'm going to do the exact same thing. But I'm going to use sine of 32 over Y, right? 32 is across Y. So there we go. I will skip the steps, okay, because time is ticking here. That's 260.23 for the distance between Mariah and the bird, right? I'm being very specific here. And then dot, 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 skip a bunch of steps. That would be 140.98 meters. And that's Kumar to bird. Or eagle, right? Yeah, oh sorry. 140 exactly? Yeah. Still go check and then put an R right next to it. Half. Number 4, A. You use this one? Go -1. Can you repeat that, Lisa? Later? That's okay. Don't be scared though to ask questions. It's okay. We're good? Okay.